Oh, we're in uncharted territory with a looming indictment, or is it filed? All of it, of course, being reported that Donald Trump, former U.S. president, facing federal charges dealing with the handling of classified documents. This as you have Joe Biden and the allegations that he took a bribe out of Ukraine to get rid of a Ukrainian prosecutor looking into Burisma. Those allegations are old, but getting some confirmation of the legitimacy of those allegations after the spat between the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the U.S. House Oversight Committee. All of this on one day, and it's pretty remarkable to see this unfold. But let's get right on into it, and of course, you can chime in at any time, 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here, where you can have your voice heard. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Donald Trump facing an indictment. Let's get some of the details out as you get your reaction together and call in. So Trump announced that he has been indicted by special counsel Jack Smith in connection with the investigation of the handling of classified documents. Remember that Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort was raided by the FBI, and you had the wall-to-wall coverage of that. But don't forget, you also have President Joe Biden facing a similar investigation from a separate special counsel. Robert Hur has been probing Biden's handling of records. And what's kind of different, I think, here is that, Trump was president when he was leaving office and had these documents. He claims he has the ability to declassify those documents simply by having them and leaving the White House. Biden, on the other hand, apparently the documents he had in other places were from back when he was a U.S. senator and even when he was vice president. And senators and vice presidents don't have the authority that a president has to declassify things. So this obviously is all culminating during a presidential election. You've got the questions of, is this election interference? Is this really a way of showing that the DOJ has been weaponized for political purposes? And also the question of a two-tiered system of justice in this country that's rearing its head. So I want to hear from you at 217-629-7970. That's the phone number. But let's go to Truth Social, where President Trump, he shared this message on his campaign platform, Truth Social, blasting the indictments over classified documents.
Very sadly, we're a nation in decline, and yet they go after a popular president, a president that got more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country, by far, and did much better the second time in the election than the first. And they go after him on a boxes hoax, just like the Russia hoax and all of the others. It's been going on for 7 years. They can't stop because it's election interference at the highest level. There's never been anything like what's happened. I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person. They had the Mueller hoax, the Mueller report, and that came out. No collusion after 2.5 years. That was set up by Hillary Clinton and Democrats. But this is what they do. This is what they do so well. If they would devote their energies to honesty and integrity, it would be a lot better for our country. They could do a lot better. They could do a lot of great things. But when you look at what's happened to our country in the last 3 years, we were energy independent. We had a strong military that wasn't woke. We were doing so well. We were respected all over the world. Got the biggest tax cuts in history, biggest regulation cuts in history. And what do? You have a president where an election was taken, got more votes than any sitting president in history by far, never anything even close. And they come after me because now we're leading in the polls again by a lot against Biden and against the Republicans by a lot. But we're leading against Biden by a lot, a tremendous amount. And we went up to a level that they figure the way they're going to stop us is by using what's called warfare. And that's what it is. This is warfare for the law. And we can't let it happen. We can't let it happen. Our country is going to hell. And they come after Donald Trump, weaponizing the Justice Department, weaponizing the FBI, We can't let this continue to go on because it's ripping our country to shreds.
So Trump continued in that 4-minute video saying that he is innocent, and he said that about 7 or 8 times, and he will be fighting these charges. This, as you've got the president also sharing on his Truth Social website a variety of different tweets and things that have been shared. Here he is sharing something from Matt Gaetz saying, imagine being naive enough to believe that the Biden bribe evidence and Trump indictment happening the same day was a coincidence. You've got the former president sharing a message from Chuck Grassley saying the DOJ indicts former president candidate Trump. Same day, DOJ FBI restricts access to unnecessarily redacted Biden allegations. And they wonder why people think there are 2 standards for justice. So again, that's something else that the former president shared on Truth Social. But President Joe Biden was asked whether or not he had any role in the DOJ's decisions to indict what could be his competitor in the 2024 election. And here is President Joe Biden reacting to a question saying that, hey, he's honest, all right? Joe Biden is honest, he says.
Because you notice, I have never once, not one single time, suggested to the Justice Department what they should do or not do relative to bringing a charge or not bringing a charge. I'm honest.
So there you go. There's the president saying that he's never once directed the DOJ to charge or not charge somebody. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. 217-629-7970. That's the phone number. Coming up next, we'll delve into the allegations against the sitting president, Joe Biden, and what the FBI documents could purport. We'll hear what Marjorie Taylor Greene had to say after she went into a classified room to review these documents. So stay tuned. We'll get to that next here on WMAY. It's now time to take a break, but we'll be right back. Former President Donald Trump expected to be in a federal courthouse down in Miami on June 13th, 3 p.m. What is that, Tuesday? So you've got next week going to be another wall-to-wall coverage week because it's unprecedented that a former president has been charged with federal charges during a election campaign. He's running again. Not only is it unprecedented a former president faces federal charges, it's also unprecedented that a former president faces federal charges while they're running for office again. All of this, of course, happening and developing on the same day that we get even more details about an FBI informant bringing to the Department of Justice for years that the Biden family and former Vice President Joe Biden had taken a bribe from Ukraine. And this is interesting because you remember that President Trump was impeached for a call he made to Ukraine looking to get more information and more investigation into the allegations that we're finding more about right now. And flashing back here, remember this video? This is of then Vice President Joe Biden talking with the Council on Foreign Relations, a globalist organization, about putting pressure on the Ukrainian government to get rid of a prosecutor that was just so happened to be investigating his son's business dealings in Ukraine with an energy company called Burisma. Here is then Vice President Joe Biden openly talking during a Council on Foreign Relations forum about, I guess, a quid pro quo.
I remember going over convincing our team, or others, to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money.
So there you go. That's the former vice president. We've heard the video before over and over again. Interesting that it resurfaces yet again. The internet is forever, but this is all, of course, coming to a head. And you've got even Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who went and reviewed the FBI document about this informant, delving into the allegations, and this is what she had to say after leaving the secure location and immediately taking down some notes as to what she saw in that document. Here's just a bit of what Marjorie Taylor Greene had to say to members of the press.
Form today shows the pure distinction. This information, this source that came forward, it's a paid informant by the FBI. This has nothing to do with Giuliani. This has nothing to do with the information that he brought forward in 2020. It's totally separate, and it's extremely credible because he's a paid informant. I made some notes after I left the SCIF based on the information, and I'll share that with you guys right now. Basically, what was happening there is back in 2015, 2016, Burisma was looking to buy a U.S.-based oil and gas company. And this came from being advised by Hunter Biden and his partners. Biden said Shokin was corrupt. That was around the time of this meeting, was when Joe Biden, as vice president, had said that the prosecutor Shokin was corrupt. They hired Hunter on the board to make the problems go away. That's what they specifically said. Hunter advised that they could raise more money if they bought a U.S. company. So the informant was trying to do the right thing and trying to advise Burisma that they shouldn't go this route. They should hire an attorney, work out their problems that they were being investigated for because they were having other legal problems. And that's why they were being investigated by this prosecutor Shokin. The informant was advising them, don't go this route. Why would you buy another U.S. company while you're under investigation? That's not a good idea. So he's trying to tell them to do the right thing. The owner of Burisma said that Hunter was stupid and that his other business partner was smart. He also said that he paid $5 million to one Biden and he paid $5 million to another Biden. And it was all a bribery to get Shokin fired and end the investigation into Burisma. He also told the informant this is common practice in Russia and Ukraine. It's common practice, it's part of business there, that's how their culture works, that they will pay bribery money in order to get business deals done. And that many businesses, they take that into account, they put it in their budget basically when they're preparing to buy another company or start another company.
So again, Marjorie Taylor Greene laying out some of the information that she jotted notes down immediately after leaving a secured review room about the FBI's informant that the Bidens took a bribe from a Ukrainian company to work at getting rid of a prosecutor in Ukraine that was looking into this company. And you can't make this stuff up. Same day this stuff comes out is the same day that Trump announces that he's been indicted for handling of classified documents. It's just another twist, another turn. What a wild 2024 election cycle this has become, and where do we go from here? We'll definitely be tracking this as it continues to progress.